Hello everybody, today on my desk I've got a microphone, and it's one of those kind of microphones that you'd maybe be wanting to buy if you're currently using a microphone that I'm using right now, which is a kind of headset microphone, which is maybe it's just the one that you've got lying around or that you might have been using for maybe Zoom calls, and you might want to now upgrade to something that you might have seen on YouTube, upgrade your Zoom calls, or maybe even do some podcasting, but you don't want to break the budget. And it's the FiFine K669c. Is this thing on? Are we live? Now in a previous video I've shown you the K669D. Well, that was a dynamic microphone. This is a condenser microphone. And the difference between the two is, well, one picks up more of your dynamic range of your voice. So this will give a clearer representation of your voice, but it'll also pick up more of the outside world as well. So it's kind of important what your environment you're recording in. Depends whether you pick a dynamic microphone or a condenser microphone. To be honest with you, I do like FiFine products because they're affordable. They're good quality at the same time. What we've got in the box is very simple. You don't get much with it, which I like. I like that. But you don't get added bundles of pop filters and cheap boom arms where you don't get much value from them because you end up upgrading on them anyway. So why pay extra for them in the first initial purchase? Get the price down, just give you what you want, which is, in this case, a microphone. And it's a lovely looking microphone. What you get with it is you do get a little desk stand, which I've got to be honest, won't have much use because of how short it is. But you would be better off using this with a boom arm. But if that's all you've got to start off with, it will definitely get the job done. Okay, this here connects onto the back, like so. And then we've got a little connection here, which then secures it in place. That may already have been attached on when you've unboxed it, or it may not have, but that's how basically you attach it if it hasn't been connected. It's a well constructed microphone. It's a budget friendly, and it looks very attractive. It's not particularly very big as well. It's not going to take up much room on your desk or your setup. Not very imposing, which I like. It does use XLR, so you will need an audio interface. FiFine have got a very good budget friendly audio interface, which I'm going to be hooking this up to. I've done a previous video on that, the FiFine Amplitank. I'm just going to give you a little sound experience of it, well, now, and you see the difference between this kind of headset mic and a proper condenser microphone. And here we are now, we're listening to the K669c condenser microphone. I bet you can hear a huge difference in the sound, can't you? I really bet you can. And the beauty about doing or using a microphone like this with an audio face like the FiFine Amplitank is that you can plug in some monitors or some headphones and you can actually hear yourself speak, which actually is very satisfying. It really is. It's very satisfying because you can actually hear yourself in your headphones or your monitors, and yeah, it gives you a little bit of confidence. It really does. It does. So, what do you think? This is how we're sounding on a very, very budget-friendly microphone. In my ears, it sounds pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little bit of off-axis sound. Basically, I'm going to be talking around the microphone like that. So if your microphone technique isn't very good and you tend to kind of talk around like this, and maybe you talk like this and you're talking to somebody over there or talking over there, you can hear how my voice changes. You don't see how my voice changes. I always say that. You can see how your voice changes. No, you can hear how your voice changes. And also what I'll do is I'll talk around the back. So why am I talking around the back of the microphone like an idiot? Well, it's just in case you might have another microphone in a two podcast setup microphone studio sort of thing. Maybe someone else is talking behind. Because that's very important. You don't want their audio bleeding into this audio. Yeah, so that's why you always test out the back of a microphone, just in case you're ever wondering why that is. Plus, maybe you've got some noise in the other room. At the moment, as always, my son's in the other room adjacent to this one, and he'll possibly be shouting away at his friends online, as kids do. One of the things I have to put up with. You just got to go with it sometimes, haven't you? So anyway, this is how it sounds. I think it sounds very nice. And what I will do is, I have been using this before, so I know how it kind of sounds. What I actually quite like about this microphone is it doesn't really deal with the bass of your voice, because sometimes that can be quite rumbly, especially if you're listening to it on a phone or earbuds. Deep. A lot of people like to sound really deep and bassy on, in their YouTube videos, but that can happen, especially if you listen to it maybe in your car, if it's a podcast, then it can get quite rumbly and quite distorting, and it basically means that it's not very nice for the listening experience. So I quite like that this actually concentrates a lot on the kind of upper register of your voice. I think it sounds quite nice that way. For the price, I think you can't really go wrong with this for a starter out, especially if you're going to be buying quite a few. If you want to buy more than one, then this is really going to be good in your pocket. That's just my 2 cents. I don't think you need to spend a lot of money on microphones. You can, but I don't think you need to. Not now. I really do think you get a lot of bang for your buck these days, and it's thanks to companies like FiFine who distribute cheaper alternatives than you would normally get from the other companies, the established companies out there. And I'm glad to get quite a lot of focus online now from quite reputable YouTubers, probably more than me. FiFine's reputation is growing, so I don't think you can go wrong with this microphone. Try it out, and if you don't like it, you can always return it. That's just the way it goes. You've got that option. The only other thing I will do is a bit of plosive test. That's the P's and the B's and things right in front of it like this, so all the puffs of air would come through. Peter pecked a peck of pickled peppers, and the plosives were pathetic. Any microphone, a condenser microphone, is going to pick up plosives like that. So it's really just, instead of rushing out and saying, well, I need a pop filter, a little bit of mic technique goes a long way. So you don't necessarily need to put any foam muff on it. You just have to, I just heard one there. You just have to watch your mic technique. But you can do that. You can do that, and they're very inexpensive to buy. I found one. There we go. So you can actually use one like this. They're very inexpensive to buy. It probably makes the microphone sound a little bit different, but there we go. You can use this if you like. And Peter pecked a peck of pickled peppers. Certainly, I think has definitely improved it. Doesn't matter what condenser microphone you buy, you'll always pick up puffs of air, and that's why pop filters and these kind of foam wind guards are around. That's why they've been included in a lot of microphones like this. But generally, if you've got a good microphone technique, you really don't need them. As always, links will be in the description. Thanks for watching.